Alright, so for starters, I've not always been a reader. I didn't like reading because in school they would tell us to read certain things and I would scan through it. So I got a bad negative vibe from reading altogether. I believe if I was gonna do any reading, it was gonna have to be for an assignment or anything. I wasn't gonna do it just for no reason. So I'm thinking about my like a little while back last year. I don't know. I just picked up what book was it? Laws of 48, the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, and I was trying to read it once prior, and I wasn't able to read it. I don't know. I just wasn't consistent enough, and I just gave up, put the book up about 3 months. And I had a conversation with some friends, and we were all gonna decide to read it one day and discuss about it and stuff like that. So I did. I did that. So at this time I made a point to read a certain amount of pages per day. And when you're carrying a book with you, you just find certain little times out the day just to read it, if you ever do it. But so I ended up finishing the book, and I felt great afterwards. I felt like I achieved something, and then I just wrote in the book, annotated in it. So I kind of built this, I would say, relationship with the book, and it increased my knowledge. So after that, I already picked up another one, and I think I used to do like certain pages. All right, by Wednesday I should have this many pages read. Even if I don't read a certain amount of pages per day, I should have this many pages read by this day. So that's what I did, and then it continued and continued until once I started buying interesting books, I just didn't even need to read a certain amount of pages per day. I just ended up reading them and finishing them, and I was reading a book per month. That's what I do now. I read a book per month. I might get lucky, read about 2 or 3 per month, but that's where I'm at right now. Started it, and so the benefits I got from it was, of course, increased knowledge. I don't read like books for entertainment or anything. I read like knowledge strengthening books. So like it's always got to be something that's gonna help me. I don't read books for fun, but they do play a part as entertainment. I do find some things I read in the books funny if I end up getting a certain type of book. And then it allows time for deep thought, I believe. And another thing, it you can get lost in a book rather than lost in a, I would say, world, but like you will forget about things going on when you just started reading and kind of got lost in the book. So that's another pro. And it slows down time. Like a lot of times I get up and read, and I realize I done read like 5 pages. It feel like so much time has passed, and ain't nothing but like 3 minutes passed. So that's one thing it does, and it's just way more productive than doing anything else like reading TV or like playing a game or something like that, or just swiping on social media, something like TikTok or Snapchat or Instagram is just way more productive than that, because those things ain't gonna leave you with no type of knowledge, no type of nothing when you get closing the app or nothing like that. And I've also witnessed increased vocabulary. Like I don't even know, like a lot of times it's not like I go and search up words in a book and just try to memorize them and repeat them. But no, it's like if I don't know a word in the book, I look it up, and then just to know what it means, just to get my concept better, my context better of what I'm reading. But it would just be sometimes some just glimpse through the day, like sometimes just some certain. It would just be sometimes throughout the day or throughout my text messages or throughout my conversations where a word would just come to mind. I don't know where it would come from, but it would just come to mind, and I would use it in my conversations. I'd just be like, that doesn't really sound like something I use daily, like something like before I read that book. That don't sound like something like a word I just used out of nowhere. So that's one thing I realized that came from reading. So that's what I do now. I read a book per month, and I would encourage a lot of people to do it, because before all these books, I don't know. I didn't know anything. Like now I know. Pick up a book and I don't know, get reading. I mean, quarantine especially, y'all got a lot of time to read. Nobody likes reading. Seeing like people look at me, what are you reading? You got a book in your hand? Nah, it's definitely a book. Pick one up sometime. But I don't know, I advise you to start the same, and I can honestly say I'm not the same person I was. I'm not the same person I was before I started reading these books. But after, I just feel like I'm equipped with a lot more things and a lot more motivation to keep reading and learn more things. So I'm in a route of advancing. So stay tuned.